Replaying what happened to Sandra Pagliano is a painful thought for the detective who stood at the crime scene this time not long ago.
We believe that it happened overnight 7 years ago today in the early hours.
Yavapai County Sheriff Sergeant Jack Maddox says it all began when Sandra Pagliano went missing from her Prescott home while her young kids and husband, David Pagliano, were inside.
She had supposedly just left or disappeared, but he still was not calling in the report.
Instead, one of Sandra's friends called in a missing persons report, saying it was completely out of character for her to willingly leave, a mother very involved in her kids' lives and with the community. David showed police two notes reportedly handwritten and left behind by Sandra, one to her kids saying she had to leave, and the other to David, leaving him all of her property and belongings.
The handwriting analysis showed that those notes were in fact written by him.
With David as a person of interest, Maddox says they gathered enough cell phone evidence that put him in the place Sandra Pagliano's body would ultimately be found, in a hand-dug grave.
She was also bound around the mouth and around the head so that she would presumably be unable to make any noise. She was alive at the time that she was buried.
Horrifically, evidence showed she was likely conscious for up to 5 minutes after she was buried. The Yavapai County Sheriff's Office charged David Pagliano with first-degree murder, and the county attorney was pursuing the death penalty. But on the eve of his trial, David decided to plead guilty and let the judge decide his fate. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Detective Maddox believes avoiding trial may protect their kids from more harm. He says they were 8 and 12 years old at the time their mother was killed.
It spares all of them having to relive all of those details.
Maddox says while justice is finally served, there are certain cases that stick with you forever. For him, this is one of them.
There are things that you experience that you think you'd never be able to experience something worse, and then along comes something like this.